Once upon a time, there were stories. Tales we were told as children of princesses and heroes, of good triumphing over evil. Stories that ended, always, with a sweet and comforting, and they lived happily ever after. But what if I told you that these beloved fairy tales once dripped with blood, betrayal, and brutal lessons about the harshness of life? Tonight, we journey into the forgotten, darker origins of Grimm's fairy tales. Stories not meant to lull children to sleep, but to warn, to terrify, and sometimes to reveal the darkest truths of the human soul. Welcome to Myths After Midnight. We know Cinderella as the girl with the glass slipper, the fairy godmother, the magical ball. But in the Brothers Grimm version, the story is far less enchanting. Here, Cinderella's stepsisters don't simply try on the slipper. They mutilate themselves to fit into it. One cuts off her toes, another slices off part of her heel. Blood pools inside the delicate shoe, exposing their deception. Birds perched nearby call out the betrayal to the prince. And punishment awaits. At Cinderella's wedding, the stepsisters attempt to win her favor again. But instead, doves swoop down and peck their eyes out, leaving them blind for life. Justice, in the old world, was swift and merciless. We remember Snow White's tale as a charming story of innocence and friendship with 7 dwarfs. Yet originally, it was a tale of gruesome envy and cannibalistic intent. The evil queen demands not only Snow White's death but commands the huntsman to bring back her heart and liver, which she plans to devour, believing it will bestow eternal youth and beauty. The huntsman, overcome by pity, deceives the queen. Snow White finds refuge with the dwarfs, but the queen's rage festers. She tries 3 times to kill Snow White, once with a suffocating bodice, once with a poisoned comb, and finally with the infamous poisoned apple. Her own end is poetic. At Snow White's wedding, she is forced to dance in glowing hot iron shoes until she collapses, dead from pain and exhaustion. In early versions of Little Red Riding Hood, the tale ends without rescue or redemption. The wolf tricks Little Red into eating parts of her own grandmother before devouring her whole. There is no woodsman, no dramatic salvation. The message is stark: trust a stranger, and you will be consumed. Some scholars suggest it was a grim warning to young girls about predatory men. In an age when survival often depended on vigilance, the story was a blood-stained reminder to be wary of the dark paths. Rapunzel, with her long, golden hair, dreams of freedom beyond her tower prison. When the prince climbs her hair to visit her in secret, their meetings are tender but also dangerous. In the Grimm version, Rapunzel innocently asks the witch why her clothes are growing tight around her waist, a subtle indication that she has become pregnant. The witch, enraged, cuts off Rapunzel's hair and banishes her to a desolate wasteland. The prince, upon discovering the deception, falls from the tower and blinds himself on thorns. Only after years of suffering and wandering do Rapunzel's tears of joy restore his sight, allowing them to reunite, but only after paying a heavy price for their forbidden love. The town of Hamelin is plagued by rats, and the piper promises to rid them for a price. After he succeeds, the townspeople refuse to pay. Enraged, the piper returns, playing his haunting melody. But this time, it is not rats who follow. Every child in Hamelin is led away, never to be seen again. Some tales say they drowned in the river. Others say they vanished into a mountain, a portal to another realm. The story serves as a grim warning. When promises are broken, vengeance can be merciless. We know the image. A beautiful maiden, sleeping peacefully, kissed awake by true love. But in the earliest versions, there is no kiss. A king finds the sleeping girl and, overcome by desire, violates her. She gives birth to twins while still unconscious. It is one of her infants who accidentally dislodges the poisoned splinter from her finger, awakening her. Sleeping Beauty's story is not one of pure romance, but a harrowing account of exploitation, endurance, and survival in a world where innocence offered no protection. These are just glimpses into the true heart of the fairy tales we thought we knew. The Brothers Grimm did not invent these stories. They gathered them, preserving oral traditions that stretched back centuries. Stories told by peasants around fires, shaped by hunger, jealousy, survival, and death. Over time, they were softened, sanitized, and polished for delicate ears. But hidden in their raw, original forms are powerful truths about humanity's cruelty, resilience, and the endless hunger for hope even in a brutal world. In the coming weeks, we will dive deeper into each of these tales, one by one, to uncover the darkness buried beneath their golden facades. Because after midnight, the myths are no longer asleep. If you enjoyed tonight's journey into the shadows, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell, so you won't miss our next descent into forgotten folklore. Until next time, sleep tight, and beware the stories you think you know.